So the most common mistake that I see small business owners and entrepreneurs making in their sales and marketing efforts is to really cast themselves, their company, or their product as the center of the story. But the truth is, if you want customers to buy from you, you really have to tell a story that's centered around them, not around you. So the key there is to really make your client or your customer the center of the story. Hello and welcome to another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. I'm your host, Jenny Lyon, and today I really wanted to dig in to how you can make your ideal client the center of your messaging and really lead them on that journey that leads them directly to you. So let's jump in. So what does that mean? What does that mean to make your customer or your client, the center of the story? So if you think about any big budget film, right, there's a hero, right, the star of the show. And this is usually the person that takes action to overcome some sort of difficulties in order to achieve something that they desire. And usually 9 times out of 10, the hero encounters some form of guidance, right? So in that case, that would be you, right? You would guide them to that desired outcome. And so as a guide, you really need to help your customer, your ideal customer, move through their online journey or their journey in general. And by the end, the story is all about them and no one else. And it's the same with your marketing. Your customer should be front and center. So if you're selling or you're marketing your product or your service, your course, your workshop, whatever it is, chances are that you have a story around it, right? Where you or your company or your services, are going to be in the spotlight. So that could be something like, we recently saved a particular company thousands of dollars by doing this. Or our products and services have helped our clients in this way, or our unmatched level of expertise has helped our clients achieve fill in the blank. So does that sound familiar? With the majority of businesses, taking that sort of approach, you'd be forgiven by thinking that it really is the most effective way to land and keep customers. But unfortunately, the truth is that you might be wasting your time by making yourself the star of the show and making your marketing all about you. You kind of turn your customer into an insignificant extra in the movie. So as a result, you're not going to see the type of growth that you hope for. And no matter how much time, money, energy that you're really investing into your business, and no matter really how long that you are really obsessing over your next move, you're going to kind of find that it's sending you backwards. You aren't going to feel seen. Your message will probably go unheard. And you're going to feel worried that maybe, oh my gosh, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe starting this business was a mistake. And as any small business owner or entrepreneur knows, at the beginning of your business journey, single-handedly playing all of the roles in your business, is something that a lot of people do because, you feel like you need to do that to thrive. And that can feel exhausting, not to mention isolating. And when these efforts are seemingly going nowhere, then you can really start to feel overwhelmed and disheartened really quickly. And I get it. I 100% get it. When I first started my business 20 years ago, I felt like no matter how many times I posted or how many different ways that I could advertise myself, that, at first you feel like you're speaking to an empty room. And it was only when I really decided to switch things up and really start focusing more on my clients and putting them front and center in my marketing story that I really began to see those results that I was looking for. And then since then, I've shared this experience with countless small business owners that I work with, who were just like me, and really help them to attract their ideal client with really raving success. So that leads into first up is really identifying your ICA, your ideal client avatar. So have you ever heard the quote, when you market to everyone, you market to no one? I know you have, because it's one of my favorite sayings. And I say it over and over again because there's a definite point there. So again, if you picture this, you've spent hours upon hours creating a program, a workshop, something that perfectly captures all of the greatness that you and your business have to offer. But instead of, customers banging down your door to get it, you're met with that not so sweet sound of crickets. And we've all been there. And that probably sounds familiar to you at some point or some place in your business. And if this scenario is playing out in your marketing efforts, then chances are that you really do need to go back and do some work around really drilling into that ideal client. And if you don't know who you're speaking to, or the type of person that you're trying to attract when you're creating, your course or your services or your workshops, whatever that is, even if you're just creating a blog post or sending out an email, then what exactly are you doing, right? It's kind of like just firing shots in the dark, hoping that at least one of your marketing strategies will hit the mark. And I'm guessing you don't need me to tell you that it doesn't feel good, because we know that. And it certainly doesn't help your business expand to what you know that it really could be. So what do? Well, first, let's agree to stop firing those shots into the dark or throwing, one net into the sea and seeing what we get, and really take the time to figure out who your ideal client is. So your ideal client is the archetype of one ideal person who experiences all of the hardships and pain points and problems that only your product, service, program, course can fix. And how do you find them, right? So you first off start by diving into what they want, what they're afraid of, how they think, and most importantly, what do they need? So you really want to dig in and get to know your ideal client, because before you make that ideal client the center of your story, it can help to place yourself in their shoes. And doing so will really help you to see and understand the problems that they face, those exact problems that you can fix from their perspective. So one of my favorite ways to do this is to sit down with a notepad and pen and break down your ideal client into different components, and then write down every single detail, big or small, that comes to mind. So if you're somewhere where you can, hit pause, grab a notepad and a pen, or open up the notes section of your phone and give this a try, right? So number one, list all of their pain points, symptoms, struggles. This is what they sit down to Google when they're looking for a solution to their problem. So write down as many of those things that you can think of. Then in a second column, write down their personality traits, values, habits, aspirations, life experiences. This is really at the core of who they are and what their story is all about. So when you finish this exercise and you really take the time to understand your ideal client's unique needs, wants, and preferences, and you can really use that to shape your marketing efforts, and you really build on a level of trust and rapport with your audience that will really prove to be invaluable long-term. So you want to step back and really consider your own life. You wake up every day with things to do, goals to achieve, people to see, and you are the main character of your day. Well, that's the same for your customers. When you boast about how great you are and how great your company is, they tune out. Why? Well, they really don't have any interest or reason in that story because it's not theirs. So if you look at it this way, how many times have you read something and thought, oh my gosh, they're telling my story, they're talking about me, and you really feel seen and heard, and you feel immediately connected to the person who seems to be speaking only to you, right? Chances are that stranger that you now feel bonded to has used some form of a storytelling type framework in their messaging. And an approach like this can really stir up different types of emotions for your ideal client. And that will make your business relevant in their lives. And it will inspire them to take action in their own story. See where we're going? So, sounds simple? Well, you know what? It really kind of is. One of the easiest and most effective ways of using, a framework like that to really attract your ideal client is to spin your own life experiences in a way that will resonate with them, making them see, oh, okay, all right, I see that. I get that. Okay, I understand that. I can trust them. And your marketing efforts should really be focused on how you and your company can meet the demands and the needs of your audience, not all of the wonderful things that you have to offer, right? You really want to have a marketing strategy that is really all about your customer, one that holds the customer at the center of everything that they do, maximizing opportunities for you to connect with your ideal client and position yourself as someone who wants to support them, right? Not someone who just wants their money, right? You really want to have a really active supporting role with your ideal client. And when customers feel heard and appreciated, then they are more likely to interact with you by, following you on social media or signing up for, your free lead magnet or making a purchase from you, or even recommending your services to a friend. And it's really a win-win situation for everyone. And you really remember, great companies, they don't really care about portraying themselves as, it's all about me. This is me, 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 me. Instead, they really care about empowering their clients, their customers, to be their own. Okay, so what did we learn today? Well, number one, if you don't know who your ideal client avatar is, stop. Let's go back a little bit and work on that. You don't want to waste your time by marketing to everyone. By spending the time that you really do need to spend to get crystal clear on the type of person that you're trying to attract with your marketing or your content or your messaging is really the fastest way to build a thriving business. Number two is that your customer should always be front and center, right? If you want customers to become loyal to you, you really have to tell a story around them. They need to be the star of the show. And number three, success is found in the supporting role. So focusing on how you can meet the demands and the needs of your audience, that's key. You don't want to focus on all of the wonderful things that you have to offer, but instead you want to kind of flip the script a bit and really help your ideal client be the center of the story and then lead them organically on a journey that leads to you. And utilizing some of these practices that we talked about today, it will really help you to create a marketing strategy that both increases customer satisfaction and encourages prospective clients to come to you. So that might sound a little bit daunting. Well, good news, I'm here if you need any help or support. Think of me as, your supporting role. That's what I do for all of my clients is really, meet them where they're at in their business today and then help them map out a roadmap to where they want to go. And working together, we can really develop strategies that will bring your ideal client to you so that you won't be aimlessly searching for clients. Instead, it'll just be full of consistent, fulfilling opportunities to get to do what you really love. And isn't that really the key? All right, well, I hope you found this episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple helpful. And I hope it has you on the right path, to find your ideal client and put them front and center in your messaging and then lead them through a journey that's going to lead to you. And again, like I said, if you have any questions, please reach out. I'm always happy to help. You can do so at jennylyon.com/chat. And if you're still kind of struggling, with the whole ICA, I have a free download that can help you as well. You can grab it at jennylyon.com/ICA. and kind of walks you through the process and gives you some more food for thought around your ideal client so that you could really dial in on your target audience to get the results that you're really looking for. All right, well, please reach out. Always happy to answer any questions you have and, hear how you're doing. So I'll see you next time on another episode of Digital Marketing Made Simple. See you soon.